Boruto returned from the time skip with various different powers. But has he already surpassed the entire Akatsuki? Could he really defeat characters like Obito, Itachi, and Nagato currently? In today's video, you're going to find out all the Akatsuki members Boruto could currently defeat. Boruto's power is currently on a whole other level. Most Akatsuki members would have difficulty defeating him, and soon you'll understand why. And before we begin, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'm curious if your list matches mine. Let's begin. Hidan. Starting our list, we have the immortal Hidan. In the anime, he became known for being immortal, thanks to his Joshin religion. His main power is the ability to create a ritual with his opponent's blood, where his skin changes color and he inflicts attacks on himself that are reflected onto the opponent. Since Hidan is immortal, only his enemies are killed with the deadly attacks he makes with his giant scythe. But would he be able to defeat the current Boruto with all his powers? Clearly not. Hidan would first need Boruto's blood to perform his ritual, and currently, Boruto is absurdly fast and can even fly, in addition to having the Hiraishin and being able to react very quickly to blind spot attacks. Boruto currently fully masters the Rasengan and his own variation, known as Uzuhiko. This power would leave Hidan completely outmatched, and Boruto could finish him in several ways, just like Shikamaru did, with explosive tags or using his sword to dismember him. He would lose very quickly. Kakazu. Moving on to the next, we have Kakazu. He is known for possessing a hidden jutsu that allows him to steal the hearts of other ninjas to extend his lifespan and acquire all 5 nature elements. Kakuzu can use all nature transformations through creatures that reside in his body and fight independently. Additionally, Kakuzu can combine nature elements to create more powerful jutsus and possesses great strength and resilience, as he demonstrated in his fight against Kakashi and company. But would this be effective against Boruto? Currently, Boruto can absorb ninjutsu and chakra with the powers of the karma, so none of Kakuzu's jutsus would be effective against him. Moreover, Boruto is physically stronger and more resilient than Kakuzu, so even in taijutsu, Boruto would emerge victorious. Boruto could easily defeat Kakuzu's creatures and even his most powerful transformations. Just the Rasengan Uzuhiko alone would be enough to defeat and eliminate Kakuzu, but Boruto also has an entire arsenal of different Rasengan and his sword as a means of finishing the fight. It will be light work for Boruto. Deidara. The next member we're going to analyze is Deidara. His powers are based on a forbidden technique that allows him to shape explosive clay with a mouth located on his hands. With this, Deidara is capable of creating explosive creatures and special attacks that can literally destroy an entire village. Such is the jutsu of C4. Deidara is indeed a powerful ninja, and should never be underestimated. But would these abilities be effective against Boruto? Of course not. As we've seen in the anime, the explosive clay is vulnerable to the lightning element, and Boruto has various jutsus from this element. Additionally, the long-distance attacks that Deidara performed with his birds wouldn't be effective, because Boruto can also fly. The clay creatures would also be defeated easily by Boruto's sword, and jutsus like CO would be ineffective, because Boruto could simply teleport to a safe location using Hiraishin, or open a portal with karma and escape the explosion. Just by using Hiraishin in conjunction with Rasengan, Deidara would be defeated. Therefore, it's a very clear win for Boruto. The karma wouldn't even be necessary here, nor would Deidara's C4, which explodes the body at a cellular level. Boruto is an expert at getting away thanks to his Hiraishin and flying ability. He would win, but with moderate difficulty. Sazori. But what about Sazori? Sazori's body is almost 100% puppet, with the exception of a compartment in his chest that contains his human essence. Sazori's body is a unique weapon, and he can even manipulate a unique poison throughout this weapon. Moreover, Sazori has over 100 different puppets, with the third Kage being the strongest, who masters magnetism style and iron sand. It is worth noting that Sazori can switch to other puppets using the compartment with his human parts. But would any of this be effective against Boruto? Of course not. Sazori's over 100 puppets are too weak for Boruto's power level, and can be defeated really with just his sword. Sazori's poison would likely also be ineffective, because Boruto has a 100% Otsutsuki body and immense regeneration. But hitting him would also be difficult thanks to Hiraishin and the ability to fly. The third Kazekage puppet would also be useless against Boruto, because he's familiar with Iron Sand and Magnetism style, thanks to Shinki. So, defeating Sazori's puppet with some lightning style jutsu or a giant Rasengan would be easy work for the current Boruto. With this, he would quickly discover that Sazori has only a human part, which is the cylinder that Sazori moves around. Then using the Haraishin no Jutsu to strike a sword blow would really only be a matter of time. Yeah, that's how Sasori will be defeated against Boruto. Zetsu. This one's quite obvious that Boruto would be able to defeat both white and black Zetsu. A simple Rasengan would be enough to defeat the two. Perhaps even Boruto's sword alone would suffice. Let's just go on to the next one. Orochimaru. Here we'll analyze Orochimaru from the Akatsuki era, alright? During this period, Orochimaru had not yet mastered Ito Tensei. He was already nearly immortal thanks to a forbidden technique. Moreover, Orochimaru had his summoning jutsu, where he could summon various snakes in a battle. Orochimaru could also change bodies if he was severely injured, in addition to the ability to reconnect his body with snakes, making him almost immune to physical attacks. The legendary Sannin also has many attacks based on snakes: Wind-style jutsu, the Curse Mark, the Kusanagi sword, a final transformation into a giant snake, and a mega powerful shield. This fight would be one of the more difficult ones for Boruto. But even so, Boruto would have an advantage in this confrontation, because his powers are Otsutsuki level, and he can absorb ninjutsu and chakra, in addition to being very resilient thanks to Momoshiki's data. Boruto also has the advantage because he can escape deadly blows thanks to karma and the Haraishin no Jutsu. So Orochimaru wouldn't hardly be able to land any attacks on Boruto, because his perception is immense. I give the victory to Boruto thanks to the Haraishin and the Uzuhiko, which can pretty much easily defeat anyone. But I want to make it clear it would be very difficult and complicated, because Orochimaru rarely ever dies or gets hurt. However, jutsus with great potency could indeed defeat him, just as Pain did in the past. Thus, Boruto emerges victorious from this confrontation. Kisame. This fight would be more difficult than the last. Kisame's powers are primarily based on the water style, where he can create water barriers, water prisons, clones, and shark summoning. Moreover, Kisame possesses chakra similar to that of the Biju, thanks to the Samehade sword, capable of absorbing chakras and jutsus. Kisame can also merge with Samehade, taking on a shark form where his physical attributes greatly increase. But the question, would he defeat Boruto? I'm going with no. Kisame is indeed an extraordinary user of the water style. However, Boruto can absorb ninjutsu and chakra, so in a battle between the both, no water element jutsu would be effective. Kisame's most powerful form, where he creates a giant water barrier and assumes a new form in a fusion with Samehade, would also be ineffective, for one simple reason: the Haraishin. Boruto can easily exit the attack area or even open a portal. In taijutsu, Boruto would also have a significant advantage, thanks to the training with Sasuke and Kashin Koji, plus the experience of Momoshiki's karma. So Boruto would defeat him in taijutsu as well. With all this, we can conclude Boruto would win, probably with a Rasengan. And considering the Haraishin no Jutsu, Boruto's victory becomes even more assured. Konin. It might not seem like it, but this fight wouldn't be as easy as some think. Konin has a unique fighting style. As a founding member of the Akatsuki, her powers are based exclusively on paper manipulation, where she can transform her body into paper and create various different attacks, such as paper clones, shurikens, wings to fly, sharp blades, and an attack where she suffocates her opponent to death. Moreover, Konin can also create explosions and is nearly intangible thanks to her power. This fight would be difficult, but Boruto would indeed be the victor. Boruto could not absorb Konin's paper jutsus because they are not made of chakra alone, and hitting her would also be difficult. However, no long-distance attack would work against Boruto because he can fly using karma. Besides, any explosion from Konin would be ineffective because Boruto has an immense reaction speed, so escaping using Haraishin would be an easy task. The trap used against Obito would also not work thanks to Boruto's teleportation and the space-time jutsu of karma. With this, we can conclude Boruto would probably win with a simple Rasengan in conjunction with the Haraishin no Jutsu. After all, she was pretty much already defeated in this way, and Boruto has plenty of power to finish her off. Obito. This fight here would be the most difficult for Boruto. Here, we'll use Obito's version from the Akatsuki period, before the Ninja War. Obito's powers were mainly based on his Mangekyo Sharingan, with Kamui as his primary ability. With this skill, Obito can become intangible and teleport even more effectively than Minato's Haraishin. Moreover, he can send his opponents to the Kamui dimension and end the fight right there. Obito's reaction time is incredible thanks to the Mangekyo, so hitting him is difficult even for skilled ninjas. Obito also has a normal Sharingan in place of the eye he lost, allowing him to use a genjutsu called Izanagi, which rewrites reality. He also has powerful regeneration. But would this be enough to defeat the current Boruto? Well, let's analyze. No fire-style jutsu would be effective against Boruto because he can absorb jutsu using karma. However, Boruto would also have a hard time hitting Obito because he becomes intangible using Kamui. On the other hand, Boruto also has enough reaction speed to escape any of his attacks. In the final transformation of Karma, Boruto would be faster and stronger than Obito, making victory much easier. We can dismiss Hiraishin because Obito has been defeated by this jutsu before and wouldn't fall for the same trick twice. Besides, Boruto is not as skilled as Minato, so we can conclude that Boruto would win thanks to the power of Karma and the Uzuhiko Rasengan. But this fight would be extremely difficult due to Kamui and Izanagi. However, in the end, Boruto takes the W in this confrontation. Itachi. The difficult opponents just keep on coming, as Itachi would be one of the hardest fights for Boruto. Itachi is one of the strongest Uchihas in history and possesses the Mangekyo Sharingan. With it, Itachi has two special powers: the Flames of Amaterasu, which burn everything it slashes, and Tsukiyomi, a genjutsu that manipulates time in the user's mind and inflicts physical and mental damage within seconds. Itachi also possesses an incomplete Susanoo with two legendary weapons: the Totsuka Sword, which seals anything it pierces, and the Yata Mirror, which deflects any attack. Itachi also masters the genjutsus Izanagi and Izanami, as well as fire and water style jutsus. Now let's analyze. Any fire and water style jutsus wouldn't work against Boruto because he absorbs ninjutsu. However, Boruto doesn't have any means to face Itachi's Susanoo. Hiraishin against Itachi wouldn't work because he uses many Sharingan illusions, and Boruto isn't as skilled as Minato in the Hiraishin no jutsu. He also doesn't have Earth Style to remove Itachi from the Susanoo, or have enough raw strength to overcome Susanoo's defense. Not even with a giant Rasengan or the Uzuhiko would he succeed, thanks to the Yata armor that repels any attack. Remembering that Itachi had time to activate the Susanoo with the Yata mirror before Sasuke's Kirin hit him, so his reaction speed wouldn't be a problem here. Itachi's Amaterasu, on the other hand, would be absorbed by Karma and wouldn't have an effect. But the Tsukiyomi would work. The reason Boruto would lose to Itachi currently is thanks to the genjutsu. Boruto has no experience against high-level genjutsu users, so he would be defeated by Tsukiyomi. Itachi can defeat any enemy in just 1 second using this ability, and still inflict physical and mental damage. Furthermore, Itachi can activate a genjutsu using his finger or crows, something utterly devastating. Boruto would have few chances to use Hiraishin with his toad, due to his lack of experience and Itachi's advanced illusions. And all of his different Rasengans and the Uzuhiko would be defended against, thanks to the Susanoo, because we've already seen it in the anime. Itachi has great reaction speed. Leave your comments below if you agree with this analysis. In a polite manner, of course. Pain, Nagato. Now let's see how Boruto would fare against the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain. 6 powers come directly from Madara's Rinnegan, where Nagato can use from long range. The power to manipulate gravity to attract and repel anything, and create insanely strong attacks. He can absorb ninjutsu and chakra, summon giant animals with special powers, read minds, extract the souls of his opponents, create all kinds of weapons and tools, and regenerate any injured person or group member. Against Pain, the fight is more balanced, as both characters can absorb ninjutsu or chakra. Any destructive attack from Pain wouldn't work against Boruto, because he can simply open a portal and return after some time, or even use Hiraishin to teleport to a safe location. Chibaku Tensei wouldn't work, thanks to the Hiraishin as well. Boruto is too fast to be caught by the human path, which absorbs souls, and the animal path would be easily defeated by Boruto's brute strength and Rasengans. Nagato's Diva path would also be in poor choice, as that would give the perfect opportunity for Boruto to use Rasengan Uzuhiko and finish the fight. Additionally, Boruto can become much more powerful by activating the Karma transformation. With that, all of Pain's paths would be easily defeated by Hiraishin combined with Giant or Uzuhiko Rasengan. Nagato would only waste chakra and would eventually be found by Boruto. Boruto has a bigger advantage in this fight, and would win with little difficulty. So now I want to hear everyone's opinions in the comments in a polite manner, please. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 2 epic videos are playing on the screen. Click on one of them and I'll see you in the next video.